All right, the first thing I want to do is I want to play an update from this young lady, Lisa Tisa, for you. Okay, if you don't know the story, she, after meeting the guy during COVID, 2 days later on, I don't know, 2 weeks later, something like that, they moved in together. They started shacking together during the COVID. She got pregnant, lost her baby, found out that the guy is a liar. Guy took her to go and shop for houses and cars multiple different times all along, would not present any proof of fund because he really never really had any money. He claimed that he played for a professional football arena, professional football, something like that. And then eventually there was no traces. He claimed that he was a VP of a company, that he had official vehicles and cars, and he was living that life. He was also paying the bills in that house, so she got comfortable. And then eventually she started to smell something fishy. Well, lo and behold, I don't know how many months later, 2021, they ended up getting married. Later on, they got divorced. Found out that it was all lies upon lies upon lies. Her name is Risa Tisa. Her internet name is Risa Tisa. The name of the dude is Legion. So if you've heard anybody say, lórí gbogbo àwọn Legion tó wà ní ayé wa, Olúwa gbọ́ pẹ́ wa, if you've heard anybody say that, okay, they're talking about this story, and we covered some of it yesterday. So if you really need to go watch that after the show. But today we just want to get into some 33 somewhat lessons, point of importance that I think we should pay attention, notes that I took as I was so actually it's no longer 33 because I don't know how much we can cover today. It's no longer 33 because as of yesterday I was at part 44, 45 ish. So by the time I finished watching today, it's now up to how many points? I think 42 lessons. 42 lessons. Okay. So with that being said, she had an update today. I'm going to play the update for you first. And also Legion actually responded. I'm also going to find that video and play some of that for you before we get into the lessons. Okay. So let's go.
Who the fuck did I marry? New update. Today is Monday, February 26, 2024. Earlier today, Legion's older brother, Chris, reached out to my friend, Tracy Tripp, an attorney here in Metro Atlanta. He called her firm to ask how he can get in contact with me. Tracy, being the friend that she is, basically had the attitude of, I don't know you. You're going to have to verify. Remember, trust, but verify. Chris did exactly that. On the phone, he verified, because I was on speakerphone when she called me, that
Adana.
he was
Welcome.
in fact the older brother. I felt comfortable. I called him from my personal phone. I called him at 2:16 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He and I spoke, and there were two things that he asked for me to clear up. Here it is. Number one, Legion's mother passed away first. His father passed away a few years later. It was at the father's funeral that Legion brought his ex-wife, and apparently there was an altercation of some kind between Legion and his older brother. They have not seen each other since the father's funeral. The information that I initially gave in my 50-part series was that they have not seen each other since the mother's funeral. So I want to clarify, they have not.
Wait, I know what you're thinking. I know exactly what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking.
Don't care, don't care, don't care, still don't care. I don't care, I don't care.
Not seen each other since the father's funeral. Secondly, Chris wanted me to also let you all know that their parents, though they are passed away, the parents did everything they could to get Legion psychiatric help. At one point, they were taking him to different therapists and psychologists. He's been diagnosed as a kid with both bipolar and schizophrenia. I did not know this. Chris informed me today, Monday, February 26th, during that phone call, that their father came out of retirement to help pay for the medications. And as Legion got older, he refused to take them. Did not know that. I say all this to say that Chris gave me permission to go ahead and relay this message to everyone to clear up some things that were said in the 50-part series. He also had a message for me. He said, "We support you. The family is not mad at you. We've known how he is for years. You can expose that motherfucker. So thank you, Chris. I told him I would make this video to clarify exactly what he said, and he told me that if you or any friends know the family personally up in Philly, Chris has a message for you. The captain is loose. Apparently you all should know what that means if you know the family. I say all this to say again, I take responsibility and be accountable for the series that I put out, that 50-part series. So if I said something that was incorrect, I have no
Don't
issue
care.
making sure that I correct it as best I can. However, let me be very clear, ladies and gentlemen.
Tell us.
I know what my ex-husband put me through. I cannot speak for anyone else. I can only speak on my experience. I realize that this story sounds absolutely outrageous, but it's true. I filmed it the way I did for a reason, because it's true. I gave you details because it's true, and I stand on that. You all have a wonderful day. And last but not least, to Chris and Tracy, I thank you. Talk to you guys soon.
All right.
Who the fuck did I marry?
Don't repeat that word. What's wrong with you, lady? Anyway, that's that. But so that was the story, and there were quite a few reactions on Twitter. Let me see if I can. Every time the "What the F did I marry" lady say that will come back later, this guy's taking notes. What is he doing? He's taking notes, Willie. So that this is how I'm looking at my man after finishing that "What the F did I marry." You see? wait. All right. Gifting my mom this drain basket made her day. Okay, that's not relevant. Okay, somebody said, I'm sorry that "What the Hell Did I Marry" story time on TikTok. She needs to copyright it before they turn it into a movie. No, that is already a movie. Nollywood people know what to do with that. Don't worry, no worries. Risa explaining how she kicked that man out in "What the Hell Did I Marry." She did a face like that, like Legion. Every time he was asked for proof of funds, "What the hell did I marry?" Now, speaking of Legion, I'm gonna play this video for you guys. Okay, Legion actually spoke out. Did you guys know that? Some of you that's following this story closely, you probably know. So let me go ahead and play Legion. Shout out to this young lady who put up the videos, the Jess Cassin brand. Okay, so let me play this, then we'll talk.
Sad.
For the community. So
Rumor, Risa, Tisa, ex-wife, who straight line to y'all.
That is Legion, just in case you didn't know. If you didn't know, that is Legion right there. Okay, Angela is 22 years older than him. You're still talking about Angela? Michael? Who's talking? Yvette. Welcome, Yvette. Good to see you. Yvette says Michael was abused so much he wouldn't have tolerated a Nigerian woman abusing him. He had a goal. Glad he was found. Yeah, in Yoruba culture, the son is considered the mother's husband and the daughter the father's wife. This is especially evident when the parents are divorced and not together. I understand the family will be upset with these antics, but he's still their siblings. They should try and help him since the parents are not alive. So sad. That last part of what she said, right? That was funny to me. Now I understand she went through what she went through and she's focused on her own feelings. I get that, okay? But the fact that the family would say that, wait, what? I thought you just said he's a sick man. By the way, what did I say about this guy? What did I say about him when people said he's calculative and I said, no, this is a sick person? She just said it herself. This is a sick person. The only thing you can do with legions is make sure you don't end up in a bedroom or under the same roof overnight when you're knocked out snoring with a legion. If that's a true story, that's a very dangerous place to find yourself. Stop focusing so much on how other people can walk a straight line and worry about you not being a target. That's the whole thing I want you to extract out of this. Don't be a target. This is a very, very dangerous world. I'm warning you. Okay, oftentimes it's not because somebody's calculating and looking to get you. Sometimes they are sick. If you're focused on how to control other people to behave, you're going to miss it. You're going to easily become a target. Anyway, that's that. But anyway, quote unquote, Legion is on our screen. Let me see. Legion has gained his weight back. The chicks are chicken. Yeah. Legion in his element. It's saying it's not be taken literally. This is why many Nigerians have unnatural attachment to their sons. Wahala. You go explain, Taya. No evidence. Legion can be excused. If he was supposed to be on medication. Exactly. Yep. If he's supposed to be on medication, he can be excused. That's a good point, sir. Protect yourself. How do you do that? Work on yourself. If we're talking about emotional matters, don't be an easy target. Sometimes it's very mild. It's not a serious 15 months worth of lies like Legion. Sometimes it's, and that's some of the lessons. There's probably around 5 lessons in that already. I'll go through the list in a second. But let's hear what Legion has to say.
It's sad because it's completely false. And we went to marriage counseling, didn't work, and we broke up. But my message to her is please stop lying to these people, and you can tell them the real reason I left you. You cheated. I caught you in the house with Bradley, and we went to marriage counseling, didn't work, and we broke up. More to the point, I haven't decided who I'm going to talk to exactly or go on whose page or whatever. But I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know that she lied about everything. Follow her, don't follow her. That's up to you. All that stuff she said, it's complete lies.
I know what you're thinking. No, you are the complete liar.
Anyway, Legion had a lot going on. Okay. Let me see here. I'm going to jump to this place here. This lady is doing
of you. If you're the type of guy that you see, if you always just let it slide when a girl does something to you that you're not actually okay with, well, like, that's how it happens. You just got taken advantage of. She cancels plans at the last minute. You don't say anything. She shows up late to the date. You don't say anything. She's on her phone on the date. You don't do anything. Even though it doesn't seem like a big deal, you just set the tone that going forward in this relationship, you can kind of do whatever you want, and I'm not really going to say anything or do anything about it. I'm that type of guy. You need to learn how to calmly but directly communicate when things are not okay with you, and then you'll never be taken advantage of ever again.
Some people say closure ain't something they need, but it actually is something you need. You have to have it.
Oh, by the way, did I tell you he's a relationship coach? He's a relationship coach. Go figure. Let's continue.
And some of y'all breaking up for the wrong reason, so really think about that before you just start throwing everything out the window, because finding that special person is hard in this world today. So think about that before you just start running your mouth.
A friend of mine got some great news. He's moving up. All the way up.
Maybe you should just leave it alone. Everything ain't your business all the time about everybody. Every detail of their personal life when you first meet is not your business. It takes time and years to get to know somebody that way sometimes. Please.
Wait, Bumi, were you here yesterday? You don't have to know anything with your cerebral abilities. Your energy needs to pick it up before once you start becoming cerebral about this and you're overthinking it, it's already too late. You're probably going to calculate, you're going to become a detective. It's dangerous. It's a dangerous game to play. Especially if you're not a professional detective. Don't wait until your energy should be able to pick up a legion 10 miles away. No, sorry, 10,000 miles away. Okay, if your energy can't pick it up, no, I'm not talking about I'm not talking about magic. Okay, I'm talking about you guys know now. There's a lot of red flags, right? Before she got too far, right? Some of those red flags, majority of the red flags, should not be something you are thinking. It should be you felt it. It's just wrong. You can't put your finger on it. So I'm not going to continue this situation. That's the safest way. Once you become obsessed and you're thinking and you're calculative and you're snooping around and looking through phones, your life is already a danger. It's not worth it. Okay? If we're talking about this story, such a dangerous game to play.
Allow the process to be the process and don't try to just dive in, because what you can do is end up putting your foot in your mouth and looking real stupid at the end of the day for saying something, making a comment about something you don't even know.
For this next video, he originally had a picture of a clothed baby while he was saying this, and it just was too nasty to me. So if the words don't match his on-screen, it's because the picture I was not about to put up. That just was some weird shit.
Would you guys consider jacking off to be a sport? I don't know about you motherfuckers, but I consider that shit to be a sport, okay?
Jacking off is a sport. See lesson.
If people can sit back and label goddamn golf, which is the boringest fucking sport in the world, think about it. What the fuck athletically are you really doing in
Nigga is nasty.
Ah, no.
My truth, but the truth has been spun around too much. With evidence, the sheep are blind.
Wait, what's going
What
on?
is coming next in this world? I can save you all. I will speak through pictures in a code on the phone. Dear home loan, and we are down.
All right, so these are some of the pictures that he screenshot. Apparently, I don't know where this lady got it from, of the home loan approver that he lied to her about. This is another one from some Cayman with some money, some withdrawals and stuff. This is the Google pictures that she eventually. Why are they showing R. Kelly? Jesus Christ.
Drop a quick one to you real quick this morning.
He's dropping another one. A quick one.
Ladies, if you on your period, that's okay. If you're emotional through your period, that's okay. But the last thing you should do is make your man feel it. A lot of women make the mistake and they don't understand when they have a bad attitude. If you have a bad attitude, stay peaceful, stay quiet, stay humble.
Oh.
You can drive a man crazy with a bad attitude because you're on your period and you're just not feeling 100%. But your period does not give you an excuse to act like a butthole. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. Again.
Did he just say it's the truth? Where's my truth teller detector here? Where's Chinye? He just said he's the truth. He just said it's the truth. If he's telling the truth, what are we telling? Lies?
It's your boy, the relationship guy, dropping these tips to you, man. Y'all enjoy.
So then he goes on to make up these fake ass text messages, which we all know is not real. To sum them all up, it's Risa Tisa inboxing him talking about, I'm sorry.
Why is you lying?
I didn't mean to lie. Boy, we know you.
Anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at. Let's just get to the story of today. Again, I wanted us to talk about the 33 lessons. Some of the lessons that I pulled up. My thoughts. Let's just call it some of them are my thoughts. Some of them are my lessons. I want to hear your thoughts on them as well. But just things you should pay attention to. Okay. Some of these things that I will say, they are basically, you need a certain healthy level of foresight in order to comprehend it. Sometimes you have to hit rock bottom first in order to make sense out of it. And if you're not there yet, it's okay. If you can't relate, that's okay. Okay. But when people hit rock bottom, some of the things I will say will make sense. Okay. Oh no, Legion is a relationship coach. God help us. Yes, he is. Whoa, the man with 3 divorces under his belt. Yep. And he said he only mentioned one divorce before to her, right? She found out on her own. The guy should be in a straight jacket. Jesus Christ. No, I wasn't. I don't know what you're answering. Legion is still legioning. I think this beyond help. He needs his medication. He's a sick guy. Your job is to make sure you do everything in your power so that your energy will reject this kind of people. They have to smell that you're a target before they get comfortable. They can't if it's too hard for them, they won't hang around you. Okay. And your job is to make sure it's too hard for people like this to be entertained around you. How much more for more than a year? Okay. He's beyond help, not appropriate at all. She's watching from before. She's still talking about Afolayan. Anyway, so let's talk about these 33 lessons, and then we'll round up the show for today. Okay. The number one thing I'm just going to read as I put them down: never met a brother and a sister because of COVID. Listen, it doesn't have to be COVID. It could be something else. A great, fantastic, valid excuse. why you're going to marry a person without knowing their family. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay? If you did it and you were successful at doing it, you are the exception to the rule. Don't do it. Okay? Thank you, Uncle Patrick. Uncle Patrick said, ladies and gentlemen, okay, the best way to guide against legion is 0 chances of kerewa. Well, that's Uncle Patrick's advice. Okay? Let's keep going. Phone always on vibrate. A guy's phone is always on vibrate. What does that sound like? It sounds like, I guess, red flag, right? That should be an easy red flag. Nope, that's not true. That's not true. That's not necessarily a red flag. Okay? A lot of people that are watching the video, I see some comments saying, that's definitely a red flag. That's not a red flag. Some people keep their phone on vibrate, okay? Because the phone is always on them. That's not the red flag you're looking for. Now you're looking to become an FBI agent. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Okay? You're paying attention to the wrong things. She did mention that his phone was always on vibrate, right? This is long. She's now seeing all of this. Keep in mind, it's already too late by the time she started to pay attention to this. Okay? The same thing that got her into that situation, the flip side of it is what you need to be paying attention to earlier on in the relationship. Okay, and it's not, you're not looking at somebody's phone, they don't vibrate when you are into them. If you like them, if you like that person, you're not going to be paying attention or nitpicking little details. That's why you can't count on your cerebral abilities. When I say cerebral, meaning thinking, your cognitive ability is not good enough. You're a smart woman, you're a smart person, I get it. You think you can pick it up? No, it doesn't work that way. You're going to overwork yourself. It's not going to be worth it being in a romantic relationship, because you'll be looking over your shoulder every second. It's not worth it. You will just punish another person's son or daughter. Okay? So that right there is not the red flags you're looking for. Okay? In fact, I already told you, go pick up the book. The number one red flag you're really looking for is making sure it's not you. Okay? That's honestly, okay? All right. My phone is always on silent. Bumi says, I hate the sound. Exactly. So somebody's now start dating you and they now say, why is your phone on silent? And they start watching you like a hawk. That person is insecure. They will punish you for the rest of your life. It's not just the phone. There will be other areas of life where they will show the same behavior. It's not worth it. Okay? So that's lesson. Remember, I'm not pointing out red flags. I'm pointing out lessons. Number 3, telling you about his wife who cheated on him. If a man or woman is in a relationship, a new relationship with you, and the only thing they have to talk about their past relationship is negative. Yeah, even if it's truth, you need to run far from them. You need to run as far as possible away from them. You're doing them a favor. Obviously, you're also dodging the bullets, but you're actually doing them a favor. They need to go and heal first before they are trying to do relationship. If you're just there to smash, you knock yourself out, whatever you want to do, if it aligns with your religion. What I'm saying is, if you plan on engaging a person in a long-term romantic way, if they're still talking about a person that cheated on them, yeah. Now, on the surface, it looks like, after all, they're sharing with you, right? They're being honest, right? And transparency is everything. You know what we like to say? I am about transparency. Shout out to Honeybay, right? Transparency is good until it is no longer good. Until somebody tells you something that you really should look at and forget that it is good. It is good for you that they told you. So the more important part about this is that you should now keep walking forward, face forward. Don't stay in that situation. Don't stay in that situation. At least they need to find help first. They need, if it's obsessive, if they're saying it in a very obsessive way and they're talking about their person. So this guy, one of the things he kept saying is that they cheated. As you can see, one of his comeback right now is that she cheated. So it's just a place that they yield to when it's time to manipulate you. Okay, a person manipulating you is not necessarily intentionally manipulating you. You need to learn that. Had that as a bonus lesson. A person that's manipulating you is not necessarily intentionally manipulating you. Sometimes it's their way of life. And you will collect woto if you don't understand that. Because sometimes you're stuck on their intentions. And they might not have an intention to manipulate you, but it's still manipulative. It doesn't feel right. Okay? So one of the ways they do that is tell you that the other person cheated so that they can kind of like indirectly tell you that don't cheat on me. Well, that's not the way to get a person not to cheat on you. How about learn how to nurture the relationship? How about that? Okay. Number 4, told her the ex story from second time. Same thing, very similar. From the second time they met, he started talking about the ex stories. Same thing about they cheated. So it doesn't have to be they actually cheated. If all they're doing is talking about their ex, they're not interested. That person is not interested in you. Not for a long time. Okay? You're just a bouncing board for them. Okay? You're what they call it, emotional tampon for them. Okay? You're being used. It doesn't look like it because they pay for the food right now. They're paying the bill. Okay? But honestly, the idea is if you go on a date, especially earlier on in a relationship, you should be interested in getting to know the person, not the toxic part of their last relationship. The people think it's normal, like, hey, why not just share it? I'm telling you, I'm warning you right now. Those are some of the things you think is normal, but it's not. You shouldn't normalize it. Okay, get to know the person. If they're talking about their ex, I would just pay attention to that. Okay. Natu says, same here. My phone is on forever silent mode. I can't stand the phone ringing. There you go. When my phone rings off, because my phone actually stays on. Funny enough, go figure. It rings with the ancient rotary sound phone, right? You guys might have heard it even in the middle of the show before. And people are like, damn, right? Because, but I kind of like it like that, So please don't use that as a red flag signal, please, I beg. Your energy is going in the wrong direction, okay? Number 5, told ex about pregnancy and she felt it was none of her business. Let me see if I remember this part. Some of you might remember. Okay, so I took the notes in like told the ex about the pregnancy and Teresa felt it was none of her business. Okay, so yeah, I think there's a part of the story where she told somebody about, and then he felt like it was none of the business. It was basically trying to hide something. Okay, no. He told, I get it now, I remember. He told some kind of ex. No, I don't remember this one. Anyway, bottom line is that he was trying to hide something. There were all kind of signs that he was trying to hide something. If you're feeling, even if you can't put your fingers on it, that somebody is trying to hide, they're secretive. That feeling will never go away. Back off of the situation for now. It could be temporary. It could be permanent. It doesn't matter. Back off. Excuse yourself. Well, it's kind of hard to excuse yourself if you quarantine with them during COVID, right? Or some other kind of craziness. You're living with them, which now they legally live with you, right? It's kind of hard to do that, which is why we tell people don't shack with people that have not ceremonially locked you up in holy matrimony. Don't do that, because sometimes you need to back off. It makes it that much difficult. So even inside of marriage, I tell you to back off a little bit. If a person is being secretive and they're kind of moving in a way that doesn't make you feel safe, man or woman, it doesn't matter. You should back off, okay? Now, actually backing off may not even be feasible, but you should be aware, right? The self-awareness that this is a good time to back off. Sometimes you're backing off of an argument. That's all it is sometimes. And then that shocks them and they kind of come straight. That might be all it takes. Sometimes it's completely back off. Sometimes it's permanently. You need to get rid of this person from your life. Okay? Now, number 6, if you felt like you guys were moving too fast, you were probably moving too quick. Is it the same thing? Same thing. Okay. If you felt like you were moving too fast, it probably was. Now, in that moment, you didn't feel like you were moving too quick. So we're talking in hindsight now, right? So, but just in case you actually felt it in that moment, even worse. Okay. So Risa Tisa might not have felt it in that time, and she's just reflecting back. Good. I'll excuse her. Afterwards, she's excused anyway. But for those of you, you're in a situation and you feel like things are moving too fast, slow it down. Get to know them. Ask open-ended question. Don't ask yes or no question. When you ask yes or no question, they will lie to you if they are liars. If you ask open-ended question, they will tell on themselves. You're patient for them to tell a story in the middle of life. As like, they will tell you enough, they will tell on themselves. Okay? So it is absolutely lack of skills that makes you come to a place and say, let me ask yes or no question. Yes or no, did you do this? They will lie to you. At the time that they're not lying to you anymore, that means you caught them like this. That means it's too late. I'm just saying, be careful. All right. If you have anything else to add, please add it in the chat as you're going. I'm reading them as we go along. Uncle Patrick says, if can't badmouth your present job in a job interview. Same reason, sir. The same exact reason, sir. When you go to an interview, you don't badmouth your past job for the same reason, because it is a red flag. Don't badmouth your ex with your new girlfriend. If they're doing that, take it as a red flag. How's that? Thank you so much for that, sir. Same exact reason. So we're right now out of 33 lessons. We're on number 7. But Mama had told her not to depend on a man. That is not the lesson. She said that. Mama had told her not to depend on a man. When you engage in a romantic relationship with another human being, the reality is that you are interdependent. Not only are you depending on that man is depending on you in ways beyond what your brain can even comprehend. So don't deceive yourself. That's not the point of leverage. Okay? All right. So Mama had told her not to depend on me. Maybe Mama was coming from she's right to a large extent. Maybe so she can avoid this kind of stuff, because at the end of the day, she ended up depending. She was saying it was so, what was it? She said seductive. She used another word, but not seductive. It was so like, it was so something similar to seductive that he was paying the bills. I forgot the word she used, right? So if she could pay the bills, would she have exited? I think she could have paid the bills. The guy moved in with her, right? But how come she didn't stop? She had her own money to pay the bills, right? Oh, I know what you're saying. It's just greed. No, it's not that. It's not that. I think it's beyond money. That's the point. Okay? It's beyond money. Don't depend on the man. The reality is that once you're living with the person, you're interdependent. How about learn how to not end up in a bad situation? If you're in a bad situation, learn how to gracefully bow out while you're protecting yourself. Learn how to back off small sometimes, right? That's all you can do with that. But this is all this shoulda, coulda, woulda. It will not help anyway, because all of us will find ourselves in crisis sometimes. Okay? So never to depend on a man. Good. Now she would never depend on a man. You know what that means? When she gets into the next relationship, she'll be looking over her shoulder all the time, and she will make it a point to let that guy know that I don't need you for nothing. That's not a healthy place to be for a relationship. Could it work? How does he make money today? That's a question that I asked. She was saying something. I said, never mind how much money you made in the past. How does that person make money today? Oh, you were playing football back in the days. They were living on Old Glory. They tend to talk about how they were so good back in the days. Good. That should be celebrated. If they were good at one point in time with some kind of skill, or they made some good money. Good. When it gets down to reality, deciding if this person should move into moving together with this person, it should be part of the conversation naturally, that you know what they do today. Like, you shouldn't have to ask yes or no question before. If you have to ask a yes or no question before they tell you this, it's already too late. They're probably lying to you. It should naturally be part of the conversation, right? So what do you do? Where you going? Where do you work at? That should have been part of the conversation. That's not something you have to ask before people say it. That should be part of, that's literally where most people spend most of their time, even if they're working remotely. So why won't it be part of their conversation? Somehow it should have snuck into the conversation. So if you don't already know that, second date, yes, that's red flag. Okay, if you have to ask it too, is red flag, just as same. Because now you think somebody said ask questions, so you go into the date to go and ask. You're wasting your time. They're going to lie to you if it wasn't already so revealing. Okay. How fast am I moving? I hope I'm moving fast enough. I hope we cover it. I'll cover it. Okay. All right. So number 9, I will show proof of funds when they accept offer. Okay, so on the real estate, they kept asking for proof of funds. They said they will show proof of fund when they accept offer, and it was dragging it out. I think all of that has to do with the lies, with the cars, we already talked about that. When it comes to buying something like a house and a car, and they want to buy it for you, and you're not, listen, come on, you'll be engaged with the whole process, okay? If they're taking you, you'll be engaged with the process. You will know a lot like that. I can't even dignify that with quote unquote red flag. At that point in time, she knew what time it was, but she kept lying to herself. Right? Would you agree that she's a very smart, intelligent lady? Yes. That also means that any smart, intelligent people can find themselves in that situation if they're disconnected from emotional, social, intelligent cues. Okay, I didn't say intellectual quotient or IQ now. I'm saying things beyond cognitive thinking, 1 + 1 = 2, black and white. The weight of this has to be carried by your spirit, by your energy. So that means you're not going to, like what you're watching right now, it's not good enough. You're gonna have to watch it a few times for this to register, and actually practice it a few times for this to register, and possibly have some kind of experience that you can relate to for this to register. If not, Allah is just yarning dust. Wait until you collect, and then maybe it will make sense to you. Hopefully you don't have to collect. Okay, just a warning. So this proof of funds stuff, that should have been a red flag. Listen, there are people, I have closed deals where I did not look for proof of funds before. I have. Okay, it just felt right. Reputation. Somebody said, don't worry, I got him. No. The proof of funds, no, this guy will buy. He's a player. He will buy. Just from word of mouth. So this is not your red flags. This is not, that should have been a red flag. No, it's not. Some guys are players. They show up to a deal. They said, no, I got it. You want proof of funds? Okay, I got you. Right now, the fact that he didn't say I got you, was arguing and tossing it back and forth. Again, that attitude of just coconut head is probably something you will see in other areas of life. It's not about the proof of funds. Now, number 10, and I quote, I was ready to get married. We don't get ready to get married. No, we don't. I'm about to get ready to go and get married. Okay, I'm about to go and get ready to go and be a husband or a wife. You don't do that. It's either you're a wife or you're a husband. I'm warning you right now. Okay, it's either you're a husband or wife or you're not. Okay, if you find yourself in a space where suddenly you woke up one day, you're not just ready to get married, you gotta be careful. You might just be a walking red flag. You become a target. Because it's not because you're saying it, it shows in your energy. Again, it shows in your energy. Yes, she said she was desperate and wanted to be married. It's like you were reading. Did you post that already? Right? You might just be a walking red flag. Okay? I was just ready to get married. You're in a vulnerable state. Remember Jada Pinkett Smith? I haven't felt love for so long. What? So what? Go back home, Roger. Yeah, you gotta be careful. If you're getting ready to get ready, you gotta be careful with that. Now, if you're ready, I don't know. I'm not even sure what I'm trying to say here. But when she said that, it was like, ouch, target. She was just so ready to get married. She wouldn't listen if you try to stop her at that time. She wouldn't listen. Okay. So she saw the paper from Chase. We saw the screen. That could be paper from Chase doesn't mean anything. So again, that's not your red flags. Okay, that's not your red flags. It's not a green flag. It's none of that. It has nothing to do with that. The paper from Chase could be a screenshot. It could be anybody can typeset a Chase letter, approval letter from anywhere. They email proof of funds approvers. They email them. That means they could literally be a digital creation. So if you are depending on these things to detect a red flag, auntie, you go collect. Yeah, it'll be too late. Because that means you can get finessed by a simple typeset letter. Paper. You're waiting to be able to see it on paper before you can decide. No, it's too late already. It's too late. I feel bad for Risa Shah. A lot of people are clowning her online, but she come across as an insecure and naive girl. May God guide our steps. Amen. 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 You know, I feel bad for her too. But it's about you today. It's about all of you that you're watching this at any point in time. Okay? You did not wake yourself up this morning. You're not going to wake yourself up tomorrow morning. God is going to, in his infinite mercy, say, okay, all right, you have another day, grace. Okay? Now, should you wing life along? No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you should work on the inner person. Self-development, self-improvement is your point of leverage. Okay, reading is your point of leverage. Loving yourself is a point of leverage. Healthy self-esteem is your point of leverage. When you have a healthy self-esteem, Legion can smell it. They know they can't do it. It just won't work. Not because you push them away. It just won't work. I don't know if you know what I mean at this point in time. I don't know if you know what I mean. Okay?
You get it? Okay. If you don't get it, forget about it.
All right, let's move on. So number 12, God, you are taking too long. I want to get married. Did I say that already? Oh, she was desperate. Okay. The best position for negotiation is to be willing to walk away and mean it. Yes, inside of marriage too. Yes, easier said than done. Yes, when you're dating too. When you are able to walk away and mean it. Not because you say, Mutiyari, I'm leaving. Not that. They can just tell. That's the self-esteem thing that I was talking about. They can just tell that, no, I can't, this is not the one. You know, at one point, she said something like, oh, you know, I knew I was going to marry you, right? And that felt like, oh, I have to marry this girl. No. It's because there was she was a target. There's a blind spot, and he saw it wide open. And he needed to feed that spirit, that evil spirit, that whatever you want to call it, sickness, schizophrenia, right? Whatever they said is wrong with him. It's none of your business. That's another person's son. How about you just avoid this? How? Work on yourself. It doesn't make sense from a cognitive standpoint, common sense standpoint, maybe not. If you've never collected before, it might not make sense to you. But trust me, you policing and looking for this will not work. You will just be target for another person that look from the other end. But when they look at you and they size you up and say, this one is not it, that's what you're looking for. How do you accomplish that? Work on yourself. If it's Bible you know how to read it. Okay? As long as you're not reading it like most people. Okay? You read it to understand and how it can be applicable in today's life and how it can be applicable to self-development. If you are reading it so you can tell people that if they don't know Jesus, they are going to hellfire, you go collect too. I promise. That's a fact, actually. We don't care. Okay. We don't care. You need to be valuable in this life, and people can smell it. The same way I'm asking you that they sniff you, they can also sniff same thing, same exact thing. They can sniff. They know when you're a target. And they know not because they're thinking or they're intentionally. No, it's because it doesn't fit their emotional needs that needs to be satisfied. Every one of us needs to satisfy an emotional need. You know that, right? You know it. Certainty, variety, significance, connection, growth, contribution. You can fit whatever they're looking for into any one of this, especially at an emotional level, right? So, and that a lot of it is subconsciously. When it says certainty, a sense of security, a person who is sick and they need to feed that beast, right? That's how they feel secure. Some of you go and read the Bible because you need to feel a sense of security that you'll make heaven tomorrow, and then you're missing out on good relationship, nurturing good relationship right here in life. Actually, there's no way you can know Jesus if you don't know how to nurture relationship here in life. And that's how some of these church people miss it. Significance. Why would they need to lie about being a VP and all this kind of stuff, right? If you talk to me, I don't necessarily, if you talk to me and you lie about something like that, I don't necessarily tell you that you're lying if I don't have proof. But there's a way that, oh wow, there's a certain oh wow that I do that you just stop lying or you go and find another person to lie to, right? Because there's always some kind of motive, right? Short-term motive, not long-term. He can't see as far as 15 months. No, I don't believe that. He might need to satisfy something in the short term, feel a little special, feel a little bit significant. Let me tell this young girl, I work at Apple. Because when everybody think I work at Apple, that's got to be a big deal, right? That's a short-term need that person is taken care of. So by the time they repeat that tomorrow and they can't hold it, it's not sustainable. That's additional reason why they can't hang around you, because they can't finesse you. Even at small emotional level. So how are they going to get into your house if they can't even finesse you small with emotions? Right? They try to be manipulative. You're not reactive. Oh wow, you work at Apple. Oh, that's interesting. As what? They can't keep it up if you are interested in actually getting to know them. Eventually, they might even ghost you before you know it. Because they're like, that one. They might even call you that one. Just leave that one alone. All right? You know how many times you've been working on yourself? You know how many bullets you've dodged without knowing it? Majority of them, you won't know about it. You won't know. Anyway, number 13. I cannot believe that was my story. Yes. If you don't work on yourself, it will become your story. It will just not look like Risa Tisa. It will look different. It will be another path entirely. It might be a story of you being finessed by your, if you, maybe let's say, for example, you live in Yankee and then somebody stole all your money because you tried to start a business in Nigeria because you can't pick up vibes. Yeah? You gotta be paying attention to those things. Nwaba says, Nwaba Kubamba. Where are you from? Are you from Kenya? I don't know why I thought Kenya. It's not like I know Kenya names. But anyway, Abi, that's Igbo name. You're making a lot of sense. Thank you. But Uncle Patrick says, consistent lies is a big red flag. Walking away free you from future emotional damage. Yeah, don't tolerate lies. It's no need for it. You know, there's no need for it. But when I say walk away, make sure you're safe. Safety, right? Safety first, right? If you're already living with that person, yeah, that now obviously you enter one chance, so you have to be calculative on how you exit. Shout out to Temidi, who shared a story with us yesterday here. If you enter one chance, may God help you. Using the exit stories to manipulate. All right, so one of the reasons why they might bring up their exit stories a lot, like I told you, it's not necessarily because they are being intentional. It's sometimes they are coming from a very cowardice place. Okay, it's a matter of fact, majority of them are cowards. Okay, instead of them to face life full front and say, hey, this is me, this is what I have value, I bring value to the table, what they end up doing is, I'm telling the truth. No, we'll tell you if you're telling the truth. You don't tell us if we're telling you, are then telling the truth. I'll tell you if your truth aligns with my truth. I'll tell you that much, right? But how do you know all of this? Anyway, if they keep telling you X and X stories and X stories, like I told you earlier, they're clearly disengaged from this experience with you, and they are trying to manipulate you. And please don't get stuck on there doing it intentionally. You become a detective and you might get hurt in that process. And it's actually worse when it's emotionally. Don't worry about if they're doing it intentionally or not. Just, okay, whatever makes you feel better, okay? But don't forget about this part. This person is a coward. They cannot express themselves with their full chest. They need to lie. They need to manipulate. They need to control another human being. They are coming from a weak place. They will drain you. Okay? Some people call them they are narcissists. Whatever. Don't wait until you diagnose them. Face forward. Face forward. Number 16. Let me see. Oh, she said Zambia. I was going to say Zambia. But you're right. Zambia. Thank you so much for being here. Anyway, let's see. Number 14. I think she likes me. When a guy, and I quote, he often would say, I think she likes me. Okay. When a guy keep coming back and keep saying, I think she likes me, if that's their talking point, they tend to come back and say, and they'll come out, a guy you're with, right? That's some of the flex I was talking about. It's flexing. He has a need to flex on you. You gotta be careful with that. Okay? Gotta be careful with that. When other people like you, gentlemen, listen to this closely. You don't have when you, what am I trying to say? If a girl likes you, if your girl likes you, okay, she knows that other people like you. You don't have to say that to her. Jesus Christ. What's the motive? Why are you trying to tell her that other people like you? What's the point of that? Exactly, there's a point. What are you trying to do? Or you're not too aware of it because it's just, because some people, it's very natural to them. They just like to flex, okay? But it's red flag, okay? They might end up competing with you in a relationship. And you know what happens when you end up in a relationship where you're competing with each other? Will it work? It cannot work. Speaking of, wow, I'm at number 14 and I'm not done. Maybe we're going to have a part 3 tomorrow because I have to finish on time. I have to be disciplined. I'm practicing discipline. Yeah? Let me play this small video for you. Okay? Remember, he kept saying, like, I think that girl, like, some kind of neighbor girl likes him or something like that, right? So let me play this for you.
Yes, ma'am. Me and Risa Tifa, we've been neighbors for going on 2 years now. But I just moved over here to these apartments across the street. But I called y'all because I seen the story going around, and I just wanted to, first off, I'm really amazed that she's going through all of this because my brother tried to talk to her. He tried to hit. But she wasn't giving him no play, no attention. And he don't even lie as much as Legion do. He lie a little bit. Like, I feel like all men lie. But he was trying to, but she wasn't paying him no mind and stuff like that. But I think you wouldn't know because in the black community, you in the caution community. In the black community, they always label light-skinned boys as like crybabies and soft and stuff like that. My brother ain't soft or a crybaby. He really a thug. Like he would have really just piped her life up. But anyways, I just wanted to say something. I am the woman that was across the street that he was telling her. She said she didn't believe him, that the lady was trying to talk to him. I was trying to talk to him. I was, because Legion, he's so tall and fine, and he do look like a junkie sometimes. But if you don't want him, she stayed calling me, complaining about him all the time. So if you don't want him, playing with you and lying to you, send him over to me. But I ain't say none of that. I needed all the tea, so I stayed her friend. So he wasn't lying to her about that part. I was desperate. I was thirsty, and I didn't want to get him kicked out. Like the Ring camera footage, right? She was talking about the Ring camera footage because he said somebody had came with a dark car. I forgot what kind of car it was. I'm going to look at my camera and see because I still got the footage. I'm going to look and see. But she texted me and asked me to look at the footage. Yes, it was a car there, but it was a woman that got outside the car. I'm not finna tell on him and then now you finna kick him out and I can't look out the window and I can't, every time he pull up, I can't come outside and flirt with him no more. So, of course, I told her it was no man. And it made him look like a bigger liar, but it was me. I mean, it was all me. I think I played a big part in it, but I wanted him. So whenever y'all start this, Yeah, whenever y'all start this, I'm gonna try to shoot my shot at Legion, cause I know he sleep in the car, but I do too sometimes. So I got a whole 1 bedroom, I got a couch and stuff. I got, you know, I can get him clothes and stuff. So we can go ahead and start the camera whenever y'all ready to get to it. Hopefully, I gotta say stuff real nice, cause I don't want her to be mad at me, cause she be giving me all the tea. But come on, whenever y'all ready. What you mean it's live? Yes, ma'am. Me and Risa Tifa, we've been neighbors for going on 2 years.
Why you always lying?
All right, she's lying. This girl, she does skits like that. She does like news anchor, people off the streets interview things. So she's lying. I just thought that was funny, and I thought I'll play that for you. No way, girl. You just dodged the bullet. Nah, she's lying. Okay. The girl talking is a comedian. Oh, but I better not see him already. Don't take her seriously. Yeah, she's lying. But I bet, you know, I'm up to that. Yeah, I see this West, you know. It's a skit, yep. It's a skit. But anyway, yeah, that was funny. She does many of it. So I think she does like anything that's trendy, she would do a video like that. Basically what she said, for those of you that may need translating, is she lied that she was the neighbor that the guy liked all the time. Anyway, the point of this lesson, please, I beg, if somebody their mouth is too sweet and they're talking about people that they liked and all this kind of stuff, please, that is a red flag. Okay, they have a toxic need, an unhealthy toxic need to flex. Okay, that's something I want you to pay attention to. Like, all of us have a need, obviously, you know, to feel significant, like you can see on the screen. Number 3 is part of our needs, right? But when they do it at the detriment of you coming back home, or coming back and just telling you that, oh yeah, I think that girl likes me, you know, I don't know, some girls actually make them feel special. Oh, she likes you, and they'll go and fight the girl. No, you're a walking red flag at that point in time. Because remember, I can't sit here and be judging a guy who is clearly sick, right? And I can't judge you either, but I can also help you say, hey, if that's how you think, you're an easy target. If every time a guy comes to you and say, I think she likes me, and then you're thinking like, oh, now you want to go and fight the other girl, that's terrible. You're a walking red flag. I'm just letting you know. Let me see how far I can go in 2 minutes or 1 minute. Okay, using this exit story, manipulate. Okay, we already talked about that. Number 16, had a security system your partner doesn't know about. She had a security system that he didn't know about. Once you start doing that, your life is in danger. You're not an FBI agent. Stop it. Stop it immediately. You're not gonna catch anything. Okay? You're not gonna catch anything. If you catch anything, you might catch disease. You go collect. Don't do that to yourself. If you're already putting up security system that your partner does not know about, you clearly don't feel safe. You are probably right. Okay? How about run far away from that situation? You're right.
You're right.
You got it? Okay. If you don't get it, forget about it. All right.
Anyway, I know I said 33 lessons. Here's what we're going to do. I'm up to number 16. We're going to continue from there tomorrow. Okay, so come back tomorrow. I've got 17 to 42. So it's no longer 33 lessons. By the time I finished watching the show, I came up with 42 points that I needed to address. But I bet it's probably at work. That's the girl who said she's happy her husband is missing with it. Yeah. So we'll cover 17 to 42 tomorrow. We'll come back, and cover that. But do me a favor. Will I discuss Wendy Williams? I need to catch up that. Maybe tomorrow. Yeah, maybe tomorrow. It might be one of our short stories in the beginning to warm up. Okay. Wendy Williams, you know, I haven't seen the angle to relationships. That's why I haven't really looked at it, but I'll see. All right. Shout out to you, D-Love. Shout out to everybody that stopped by. Shout out to all of them now. Shout out to Nwaba Kabamba. Am I saying it a certain way? I wanted to sound like my brothers from the eastern side of Africa. Mwamba Kabamba. They are the easiest to pronounce for me. I might just need to learn the right intonation though. Anyway, so thank you. Do me a favor, hit that like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified whenever we go live. Please share. Don't forget, go download the book, manofprestige.com. The books, there are 5 books you can download for free at manofprestige.com. If you're looking for coaching, you can access everything from there. You can also email me, ask@manofprestige.com. Hopefully been enlightened and educated. I will see you on the next one. Peace.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Me love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.